Hello everyone, hi, good evening, how are you? Hope you are well. This is Circle Coy here from Empowering Expat Teachers, and it is my mission to empower you to lead a personally, professionally and financially rewarding life. I'm just going quickly on my phone just to see if it's working, if it's all good. Sorry I'm so late, time just flew by and I didn't realise, so apologies that I'm late. I hope I'm catching, particularly the audience for this Facebook Live, is teachers who are going to teach abroad or plan to teach abroad for the first time in September 2020. So you might be thinking, gosh, it's very early. It's only September 2019. Why is Circa already talking about applying for the next academic year? Well, as you can see, the title of this video is One Thing You Must Know When You're Applying for Teaching Jobs Abroad, especially as a new expat teacher, as a future expat teacher. And before I get into that, do let me know, do send me some likes, send me some love, let me know who you are, where you're watching from. If you are a future expat teacher, do let me know where you're hoping to move to. Are you aiming for the Gulf, Dubai, Qatar? Is it China you're aiming for? Malaysia? What are your top 3 options? That's one thing I would say to you. Always, this is not the main part of the Facebook Live, but always have a plan A, B and C. Okay, never just have one plan. I'd love to hear where you're hoping to move to. For those of you who don't know me, this is my 8th year teaching abroad, my 8th academic year, my 4th year in Dubai, and before this I did a year in London for my master's, and before that it was 4 years in Qatar in a British secondary school. So this is my 8th year and I'm still very much enjoying it. Eventually want to go back to Europe, of course, but for right now really enjoying it, my job, and enjoying Dubai, of course. But I'd love to hear where you're watching from and introduce yourself. That would be super. So I am going to do a series of these videos every Wednesday because I can't fit everything into one video. There's so many tips I would have for people who are new expat teachers. So it will be a series every Wednesday, ideally. It's late-ish for Dubai time. It's 10 p.m. here, but the reason I'm doing it is because in Ireland and the UK it's 4 hours behind, so 6 p.m. I hope a lot of you can catch this video. If you have any questions, of course, please post them in the comment section. I'll answer them for you now. So any questions at all, post them now and I'll answer them at the end. So let's begin. So today we're looking at one thing you need to know. Next week I'll go into something else, but for now the main thing that I would say, the main piece of advice that I would give to people, and something I followed myself, and it's something that I would advise members, I would advise friends, it's something that I would, when I work with clients, when they're working on their CV and cover letter, on my Teach Abroad Transformation online course, it's something I would stress to them, emphasize to them, and I'd say it's probably one of the biggest factors in securing a really great job abroad. And that is that unlike the UK, unlike Ireland, I assume unlike America, schools abroad start advertising so much earlier than schools in the UK, Ireland and America. The recruitment season seems to get earlier every single year. And I'll give you an example of this. So I know some expat teachers who secured jobs in Malaysia, and they had their jobs done and dusted, applications made, interviews done, and everything by December. That's like months before they start in August or September the following year. So particularly Asia tends to start recruiting very, very early. And I know like Search Associates, that they have these big, huge job fairs, which actually I really like. It's the one kind of a job fair, or the one thing I've experienced myself I'd recommend. They have a fair in Bangkok, I think, in October. So early it can begin. So if you're planning to go abroad, I'd start thinking about it now. I would start in preparation for the recruitment season, which tends to be December or earlier, but definitely by December, January, you need to have everything ready. Schools abroad start advertising from the December, January abroad around the Middle East and China. Some of the better schools, the top schools in Asia, start in October, November. What happens is, and current expat teachers will back me up on this, you're given a letter of intention. As an expat teacher, in the next month or two, I'll be given a letter asking, what are my intentions? Am I staying? Am I not sure? Am I definitely going? And that way, the school has an idea of the numbers, and that's why they start advertising so early. So from what I would say to you now, so a couple of things you need to do now. So the one thing you need to know is that schools abroad recruit so much earlier than at home. So this means you've got a few things to do in order to prepare for that. Just imagine the jobs start advertising in December, January. That means you've got September, October, November to do a few things. First of all, to start thinking about where you want to go, your location. And again, I think next week I'll do a Facebook Live on choosing a location. Different factors about choosing a location. What's the best for you, depending on your situation. If you're single, if you're a couple, if you've got children, lots of different things. If your spouse is not a teacher but they want to move together, so many factors that will influence where you should go. Second thing I would say is to start, once you've got your top 3 locations, for example, I would then look at the schools, particularly the brilliant schools or the top schools in those locations, because that's where you're aiming for. You're aiming for the schools with the high staff morale, with the excellent PD. You should be aiming for the schools with like a decent package, good benefits, a proper school, inspirational leadership. Now, there's no place that has all of those things, but you'd like a school that has many of those as possible, And then from that, you do research on the schools in that particular location you like. Get a feeling, is it IB, British curriculum, what you're aiming for, American school, etc. And then, especially once you've got your research, you need to start looking at your CV. And that's so important. And again, over the next 2 weeks, I'll be doing some Facebook Lives and CVs. CV and cover letters. You have to really ensure that your CV stands out from the crowd. Head teachers around the world, but particularly in UAE, because I think Dubai has this sort of attraction and draw. People really want to move there. And so I know they get like 1,000 applications each year. And sometimes if you go on some websites and you see the job vacancies, you can see how much time it's been viewed or applied to if it's an online application. So you really need to make sure your CV stands out from the crowd. And again, I'm just going to give you a few tips, and I'll have a Facebook Live later on in more detail, a bit more detail about this. Think about your positive skills, talents. What are you great at as a teacher? Sometimes as teachers, we're not used to bigging ourselves up. We're not used to selling ourselves. It's not really in our industry to network and sell ourselves and talk ourselves up. But you need to really hone in on what you're good at. What are you constantly praised on? What do your colleagues ask you for help with? What do parents, students feed back to you about your lesson? In observations, what is praised? What have you been asked to do like insets on? PD. What are your strengths? You really need to, they're your unique selling points. You need to make sure you know what they are. You need to also make sure that you have got your qualifications all ready to go, copies that you'll have to get legalized in etc. to move to that country. Have your qualifications already easily accessible, because if you're offered a job, they'll want scans of them pretty much straight away. In your CV, think about your font size. Think about the font type you use. Is it consistent? In abroad, you generally need to have a photo. I know it's not common practice in the West, but you have a photo on the top right or whatever it might be of you on the application. Do look at your CV. When is the last time you updated it? Is it, make sure you add all your recent experience, any roles you've been offered, anything new you've done, any professional development courses you've done, including like first aid. Make sure you're constantly updating your CV as you go along. Because it shows that you're a lifelong learner, that you're constantly want to improve, strive for better, etc. Never have unexplained gaps. Also, make sure you explain everything on your CV. Start thinking about who your referees are. Who you want to write your referee letter, write your reference for you. Who do you know do the best job? Who knows you well? Who will say the right things? And I would speak to them too, because you want to make sure that what they say is sort of reflected in your CV as well. They're not completely separate items. So it's a good idea someone who you can talk to about things like that. Okay, so please be sure that you do all those things and you can feel very confident in your CV. So basically, starting early means you can get your CV ready, you can look at your PD, you can research the schools, and I'm going to finish in just maybe 2 minutes. Yeah, let's give it 2 more minutes. I'm going to give you a few ways about how to research a school. And again, I can go into that in more detail later on. Actually, no, I'm not going to go research a school. I'm going to tell you how you can find the best way to find jobs. I think that's where we are right now, before you're even researching schools. Now, I am a huge fan of applying directly to schools. That's how I found my 2 jobs, one in Qatar and one in Dubai. Neither of them used agencies, So if I'd only gone through agency, I probably wouldn't have found them. And each of them have one of the top packages in their respective countries. So please don't limit yourself to just one method. Use as many as you can to find as many jobs as possible. So I would say things like going to TES. TES is brilliant. Look up international jobs, because then you can get to see the school, you know exactly what you're applying to, very transparent, you're in communication with the school and the head teacher. If you're going for the Middle East, for Dubai and Bahrain, expatwoman.com also has vacancies. They give you some school vacancies. If you're going for a British school in the Middle East, BSME is the accreditation body. They have to go and inspect the schools to award them this accreditation, and they also have a vacancies page. So BSME vacancies, check that out. Majority of schools are registered another accreditation body called the Council of International Schools, COIS, and they also, if you Google COIS and vacancies, they show a vacancies page as well. If you're looking towards Asia, British schools in Asia, their accreditation body is called the Federation of British International Schools in Asia, and its acronym is FOBISIA, FOBISIA, yeah, maybe. And if you look up that, FOBISIA and vacancies, you should find their vacancies page as well. And I would definitely, two more, I'd say, with the Guardian Jobs website. I've heard they kind of tend to, they have some agencies on there too, but they also have jobs that maybe are re-advertised that maybe they couldn't find candidates the first time around or someone's pulled out. So the Guardian Jobs as well. And Search Associates, especially if you're in the UK, it's free to register with them, and I highly recommend you check out their fair. International Fair usually takes place in London every January. I attended there before and it really was fantastic. It was amazing. I actually ended up getting offered 3 jobs, which I didn't actually end up taking in the end, but it was such a great way to network, meet new people, to speak, meet head teachers, actually get a chance to be in a room full of, there must have been like 50 to 100 schools and all these head teachers there, so you can actually get to talk to them, and your gut instinct is so important. I mean, if you like somebody, you want to work for them. If you get a really bad feeling from a head teacher or a senior leader, you probably don't want to work for them, but you mightn't get that on Skype, but you will get it in person. So it's a really great way. You can meet other expat teachers. You can ask them about their experiences in their schools. What's the package in their country? What's the standard of living? What's it like to be there as a single woman or as a single male or as a married couple or a family? Like, it's really, really great. I highly recommend, if you're in Ireland or the UK, it should be free for you to register with Search Associates. And I definitely recommend you try it out. It's a 2 or 3 day long event, but even if you get to go to, actually you need to be there for all the days, because what happens is there's like gradual interviews, so you might have one initial interview and you might be invited back the second day. Highly recommend it. It's such a great way to see all the different schools, see the packages, learn more. It's really, really great experience. Okay guys, hope that helps. I'm going to just, if you have any questions about what I've said, please let me know. A comment.
Hello everyone.
Hi Susie. Susie asks, how do you apply directly? Do you send a covering letter and a CV and an actual letter and an email? I would say, Susie, when you apply for jobs and you go to these, like I said, TES, Guardian, if you go to the COBUS website, vacancies, BSME vacancies, Expat Woman, they usually tell you to apply either online, you can upload documents or fill out an application, or you can email, they might say email a letter, your letter of interest and your CV to the school. I used to tend to, depending on the application, I would tend to maybe paste my cover letter into the email and then attach the CV. Or sometimes you find a lot of applications, they ask you questions. Basically, you copy and paste your cover letter into the application. I wouldn't start something new. I'd use what you have in your cover letter and CV and paste it into the application. Sorry, I said application and Siri picked it up. No, I wouldn't send a physical, like, post letter. Is that what you mean? No, I put it into the email possibly. Okay, particularly if it's the HR or the head teacher. Okay, great question, Susie. Okay, guys, there we are. I hope I answered. I have a watch party playing videos. I don't know. I honestly don't know why technology confuses me sometimes. I've somehow managed to do a watch party and I actually don't know how. But anyway. Hi, Robert. Hi, Rosh. How are you guys? Sorry, because I'm doing... This is embarrassing how bad on technology I am. Because I'm using software, sometimes I don't see the comments. Okay, it's bizarre. Anyway, Guys, have a lovely evening. So definitely start early, start now. You don't want to be left at the end of the pile. I've seen so many, comments from different people or different expert teachers. It's like June and they're thinking, oh, should I apply now? The season's pretty much over at that point. Of course, you get people don't turn up and you get the odd vacancy here and there, but you're really cutting yourself short by applying so late. It's not like the UK, it's not like Ireland, it's not like the US. You need to start early, do your planning, preparation, your research, and get the best job for you. Okay, guys, there. Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, super. There. Thanks, Susie. Sorry, it's really hard. On this software, it doesn't tell me the names of the people. I have to go to my phone and check Facebook. Okay, guys, have a lovely evening. I will see you next week for next week's Facebook Live. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, before I go, sorry. Really quickly, there is an early bird price and I need some extra support with their CV. I have an online program called Teacher Board Transformation. It's an online course, lots of videos about showing you to go from how to research, how to find the best job, how to suss out, the different types of schools, what they mean for you as a teacher, how to create an amazing CV, a cover letter, and interview tips and skills and questions and strategies, etc. That's the Teacher Board Transformation. That's available at the early bird price at the moment. It's going to go up in the next few weeks. Right now, some people have already purchased it from the summer, and here I've got quite a few people, which is brilliant. People are already starting to get ready. So just be aware, I'll put a link in the comment section, but it's called Teacher Board Transformation, and it's your one-stop shop to transforming your CV and cover letter to get great teaching jobs abroad. Okay, basically everything I've done and I've learned in my 8 years abroad to get jobs in countries in schools that are the top packages in their respective countries. Okay. So do check it out if that's something that might interest you. Okay, see you next Wednesday for another Facebook Live. All right then, bye-bye.